Okay, we are finally live. Can you guys hear me? This mic has issues, guys. More than relationships, it's having issues. Like we've been trying to fix with the mic for the last couple of minutes. It's just decided not to like not to work anymore. Huh.
It was just making us wait, testing the patience of Can family member.
I know it's like so much of trouble, but does a great job. So so we keeping for today. All right, guys, we live today. Why are we live? Because a lot of you guys have asked us questions. Now, the home care support pilot program, a very particular attention grabbing program. I don't think any other program have seen that has grabbed us like so much of attention that we had to do 3 lives for this one particular program. But the crazy part is we are we are here on a lot of your requests, especially with the documentation. And I have seen questions with can my document can I mention this in my roles and responsibilities? Is my this knock code job of a value is it valid, or should I is my reference letter good? So many questions. We are gonna answer it for you. So today's live is going to be more of an in-depth live where we're going to explain, including the documentation, the portal. We're going to go deep diving into the portals, the IRCC portals, one by one, so that we can explain it how it's going to be if you're going to do the application on your own. So drop in your questions. Make sure you send this video live to. I know it's pretty it's a mid evening time. So a lot of you guys are free. A lot of you guys are just done with work. So we want to make sure this time was comfortable so that everyone can join in. So that you can ask your questions to us, and we are available for you. So drop down your questions, put it in the chat. We will ask Vishnu, and in the meantime, we will also be explaining how it works, so that you guys get an idea about how the application and how to do it, how to proceed further with. All right, you wanna say something, Vishnu?
Oh my god. And like we promised you, this particular session is about, I'm going to share the screen to see which is the portal, how to go to the portal, how to register yourself, what all things you have to do before you apply for it, and what all steps you have to follow once the portal is open. Because right now, as everyone know, this particular portal is going to be open on 31st of March. But right now I'm going to show you that exactly what all steps you have to follow, so that when 10 o'clock you will be hitting the clock, and when you will be start filling, I really don't want you should miss anything and you will be panicking that, okay, no, will I be able to complete my application or not? So this is just a wrap up session where quickly in next 1.5 hour, we are trying to cover almost the application steps. Let's start
Probably the last live with the whole home care sector.
Yes, it's a last live. After this, definitely I don't want to do and get you more complicated to it. But this session is most important because now it's very common thing. Like, okay, everyone knows that what's eligibility now. Everyone knows that, okay, do they have an employer or not? But it's important to understand that how to apply, because now if you are looking into PR, that's a different portal. There is a GC key, there is a TRV portal. So there are a lot of questions coming to me which say that, okay, sir, how to apply for it? Okay, what all things I have to do to keep me ready, and how to not lose the spot? So that is something which we are going to covering. So if you, your friend, anyone who is about to apply for this program, you can share the link with them. And let's jump on directly to the home screen page so that I can share you the information, what is this program about and how to go into it. In between, if you have any doubts or question, kindly put that on the YouTube chat session. I'm going to share the links also there so that you can have a track of it. Kindly copy paste that, because once we stop this session, there are greater chance that all the chats will be vanished, right? Disabled, right? So please, whenever I'm putting a link there, kindly copy paste that to your notes or somewhere else so that you can have that link safe with you. So the screen which you're seeing right now, that is the one when you can Google about home care pilot program. This screen is gonna come. Once you go into this screen, you have to press on home care worker immigration pilots. When you click on that, technically you go to a page like this, which will say that.
You want to share the link to the people so
okay,
that even if they're on their computers, they can also access it as well?
Sounds good. Let's do that. So this is the link. So when you click on this, it directly takes you here. So this is the main link which you should be saving, because if you can save this link, you can click on that, and on the right side, if you see, there's everything, whatever you need to know, like, okay, the language test, the English assessment, what all things you needed, who can apply, so you can look into the eligibility. After that, you can look into, okay, how to get an offer letter. So let's go one by one. So if you go through, the most important question what I'm getting is, okay, what kind of job offer letter I need, but before that, what's eligibility? So it's, if you see at the bottom, this is something which is very important, that either you need to have a 6 months of experience full time in last 3 years, or you need to have a training, valid training, which is again for the 6 months. If you click on this, it will specifically mention what kind of training is required. So here is a training thing, that it has to be, you must have received a credential of the relevant training of at least 6 months within Canada or outside Canada. But again, this is basically for an application within Canada, so it has to be within Canada most probably. And then you are looking into this whole thing. That's how. So either you need to have an experience or you need to have a training. It's again, it's not just like, okay, you need to have an experience, because a lot of people are there who are specifically looking into that. What, sir, if I don't have a training? Not a big deal. You just need to look into the 6 months of work experience screen, where it's very specifically mentioned that those experience must be under one of this knock code. So when you click on that, you can see here, if you're applying under the child care, then the experience must be under 44100 or 42202. And if you're applying under the home support worker, then you need to have a knock code experience. The knock code is 44101 33102. So these are the knock codes which is required for the experience side. But one thing which is very important to understand, this is basically the experience. If you want to get a job offer letter, it has to be under the knock code of only 2 knock codes, that is 44100 and 44101 only. If you are taking a job offer letter as a PSW, unfortunately, that experience will not be counted. Make a note of it. Okay, once you go through there, then if you click on the like a job offer, you will see here what kind of job offer, like what all things are needed. So again, you need to have a job offer which need to be having your name. It need to have the designation. If knock code is mentioned, that is well and good. The duties is very important, because every time I always recommend to every CAN family member that whenever you're taking a reference letter or a job offer letter, try to mention what are the duties you're performing, because CIC is not considering your knock code based upon the title. CIC is going to consider your knock code based upon the duties. So you need to get that. Again, one of the most common thing which a lot of CAN family member asked us is, okay, what is the wage requirement? So now the wage requirement is the median wage as per the province. If we are considering Ontario, it's around 20.35 something that you can get confirmed if you are in different province. Just click on the same screen, job bank, and you can go to this one where you can able to type 44101. Select anyone. It's all based upon the knock code. So knock code, it's remain the same. Title is different. So if you go here, you can see in Ontario, the wage requirement is 20.34. Whereas if you are in Manitoba and you're trying to apply, you only need $16. Same way in Alberta, I'm getting a lot of queries from Alberta. So there you need a wage of $20. So this is the wage requirement. If you're getting an offer letter, you ought to follow that wage requirement in the offer letter that employer is okay to serve you. One another question is like, okay, what kind of family income is required? So if you are seeing the screen right now, this is the one of the screen where it is very clearly mentioning about if you are taking experience from or offer letter from a family, then this is the screen which you have to follow, that what is the income requirement needed and everything. So I'm going to post this also to our chat session. There it goes. So this is the one. This link will tell you if you when you're going with a family. what kind of income requirement is needed for the family. Going towards now how to apply. So now, okay, so this is a screen. Then if you click on job offer, like I mentioned just now, you need to have a job offer letter where it need to be having your name, designation, your wage as per the provincial wage, and then you need to have a duties, and it need to have your start date. So start date, you can put it from 1st of April. If you're already working, still you need to have an updated offer letter. Keep the updated offer letter as well as a reference letter, because that is the criteria to get eligible. So you need to have both the things if you're working in the same place. If you are working somewhere under 33102 and you're changing your employer, then you need to have two different letters from two different employers. Now going to the next screen, and that is how to apply. I hope you can able to see my screen. Please, if you feel any like a technical error or something, please do comment so my team can able to update me on that. So if you see that how to apply in that screen, you have to go to this tab. If you click on this, it will take you to a screen which is like this one. Okay, so I hope I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the link with you. Okay, so I have shared the screen with you where you can able to see. If you click on that, you directly come on this screen. So you need to go down here. You have to click on this. There it will ask you for your first name, last name, your email ID. Same thing, how you create any kind of social media page or any kind of login credential. The same way you have to click on the create account. You have to have your login credential and password. Once you create that, then you have to come back to the same screen, and then you need to put your username, and then you need to put your password and login. When you log in, this would be the screen which you might be seeing. Here it will ask about the program under which you like to apply. So you need to select the first one, the permanent residency, including the refugee settlement. When you click on that, there would be a subsection that, okay, what sort of application under the PR application you would like to apply. Then you can go to the economic. Usually the family, refugee, these are the others. So you need to go here. If you click on this, this would be the tab where right now you will not see the home care pilot program tab, because again, like everyone know, this program is technically going to be open on the on 31st of March. It would not be here, but again, once you see that, you click on it. So for just showing you, I'm just selecting like provincial nomination program, because these both are having a same sort of document checklist, and you can able to follow that. So once again, when you see there on 10th, when you log in, you will see if the home care pilot program, it may be coming here. So once it come here, then you can able to put any reference number. So for example, 123, or you can just put your name. Anything is fine. Then you have to continue. Once you continue, then this would be the portal where you are giving your initial information. So then you can able to give your English preference. You can give your name, your given name, your date of birth. You can able to give let me give any random date of birth, and then you need to give your mailing address. Kindly note, your mailing address need to be the one where in case if any document is sent by the CIC, that has to reach. I would strongly recommend try not to give a mailing address if it is the apartment. I always recommend to give it if it's a detached house, so that there's a very less chances that you miss any mail. Try to give one proper address. It can be your friends or anyone where you wanted mailing. If your mailing address is different than your residential address, then you can say no. Then you can give your personal address here and the mailing address of your friend where you can receive all the mails. If it is same, then you just need to click on yes, and then you can move to the save and continue. Please note, if it is a family application, so if you are married, you have kids, you want to include your wife, then you need to go to the add dependent and you need to fill this tab completely. So for each and every family member, you have to create a new tab. So if it is for your spouse, then you create for your spouse. If it is for your kids, then you need to go and create for your kids. So like that, you have to create each and every tab for each and every individual who gonna be accompanying you in this particular application. One common question, do I need to include my spouse and kids? Again, it's up to you, depending upon how you wanted the application to proceed. If you're married, you have to disclose all the information to the CIC. But again, it's your decision that whether you want to include the specific person to the application or not. So once again, that decision is on you. So for example, I can just include for now saying that, okay, there is a spouse. And once again, you can give the first name and last name of the person and the date of birth. Okay, then save the detail. It will come like this. So this would be for you, the primary applicant, and that here the dependent, it will show you for your spouse. Then you can go to the next page. When you go to the next page, this is the page where now all the action is going to be happening on that day, because to reach till here, it would be one of the Herculean tasks, to be very honest, because now what you've seen right now that I did in last 3 to 4 minutes, it may take half an hour or 1 hour. If there is a lot of traffic, it will just crash the site. But once again, once you reach here, that means now at least you set up your portal. So your portal is good. Now, so we are at this page at this point. Okay, so this is the page where you have to input all the informations, then you have to upload some of the signed forms, and then you have to select start uploading the supporting documents. But once you start on this, before that, you need to have a clear understanding about, perfect. So this is the screen where you can see about the document checklist. Now, when you see there, you can see that some of the forms need to be filled by yourself, which is online. In this very specifically, it is mentioned about it. So if you see 008 form, so this is basically a generic application. Again, it's going to take your basic information. This has to be filled online. So that means what you can do right now is download this IMM 008 and try to fill that up properly. So on that day, you just need to copy paste everything. The second one is 5669. It's a personal history. This is again online, which means you can keep the PDF filled, validate that, keep it on site. But on that day, when the portal will open at 10 o'clock, you literally has to copy paste everything and then, okay. So you need to fill this form properly. And one most important thing about this application is that it is mandatory for every family member. So if you have a family member, like your spouse, you have 2 kids, then you have to fill this IMM 5669 for each and every family member. Same like IMM 008. 008 is having one specification that, okay, it will directly open the tabs, but 5669, it is a different form. So better download each and for every family member and try to fill it and save it and validate it, because when you validate, you can see if there is any error. At least on that day, you don't have to then look into your travel history, or you don't have to run behind, okay, what I did for this duration. So better fill this up, the 5669. The next one is the travel document, travel IMM form. So this is IMM 5562. So now the 5562 is only needed the information about the country other than your country of residence and country of citizenship. So that means if you are Indian and you are living in Canada, you don't have to mention about the travel history when you travel to India or when you travel to Canada. You only have to mention the travel history if you have traveled to any other country other than Canada and or India. Or if you have not traveled, there will be a one check. So when you download this, you will see there's like you did not travel. So you just click on that. But one thing, again, let me make it specific, make it very clear over here. Do not leave any space. If that's like, okay, it's asking about your kid or children and you don't have children, then you have to mention none, N-O-N-E. Please note, if you leave anything blank, so if in 5669 also, there is some places it asks you about did you served in military or did you work for any organizations? Mention it N-O-N-E, none. Do not leave blank. All the space in the IMM form has to be having not applicable or none if it is not relevant to you. So now 5669 and 5562, if you have not traveled, you have to just write here N-O-N-E. Going towards the next one, that is a family, additional family information. So now this is particularly for not just for you and your member, but it will have all the information about your parents, your siblings, all other information. So this one again for every individual. So once again, you need to look into it. This is mandatory for every family member above the age of 18. So if you, your wife, if you are a spouse, definitely need to fill it. Kids don't need to fill it because already they are dependent to you. So very important to note that it has to be filled by the primary applicant and the dependent, whoever will be attached to the application. Going towards the schedule, so this is very particular. So now let me go back to the screen. Okay, so now coming back to the main application form, okay? So now we see that in the application form, there is a tabs which is like online. So this is online where you can click on edit. You go down and you can continue, and now you can see it will ask you for all the information. Do interview, you just say English, then it will say interpreter required, you say no. Province, you say, okay, for now, for example, I'm selecting Ontario and I'm saying that Kitchener. And this is going to be taking time on that day. If you're not friendly with the system, it will take some time to find that, but again, it's easy, it's not hard. And now if you see here, it will ask you about the information. So it's just the personal detail. Then this will ask you for your contact information, passport information, national identity. Again, you can say not applicable. It's not compulsory national identity. You say not applicable. It will ask you for education, language, and then dependent information. So if I can able to go to, no, I need to fill this entire page to go to the next page. Let's skip this for now. But this is something which you need to fill it to move on with the next page. So this, all the information has to be filled just for one IMM form. And this has to be done, leave this page. And this has to be done for each and every family member who is gonna be accompanying you. So please note, keep the PDF version ready with you so that on that day, you just copy, paste, and you can just go to the next screen fast. One thing about the travel history, let me just show you that. So it says not applicable. So see here, so you put your name, that's good. But if you've not traveled anywhere other than the country of residence, the country of citizenship, you just need to select this. And then you go to the another page, save and continue. And for example, if you are not married, then you will say here, not applicable. Not applicable. So see, if for example, if you are single, you're not married, yeah, and there is no one, then you need to select this tab because it has to be, but you have to mention it here that it is not applicable. The same thing, the next page also, it will show you about the travel, like about your dependent children. So if you don't have kids, you don't have children, then you have to mention here, not applicable. This is very important because if you leave this blank, you will get, the application will be written saying that you have incomplete application submission. Once it's submitted, done, gone. So now, once you give all the information, you will see something like this. You see here, ready. This is the tab, right? We are on right tab. Yes, I'm on right tab. Okay, good. Okay, so you see here, once I give all the informations, it will say ready to submit. So same like this, you need to have all these other tabs also need to mention it, ready for the submit. Very important because if you leave anything, it may still show you ready to submit, but please note, it's very important that if something is not applicable to you, you need to mention it no, any, or not applicable. Sorry. Okay. Now going towards where the PDF has to be updated. So now, if you see, last time when I told you, like there is some employer forms that has to be uploaded, that you can see here. So that you need to get it signed, and then you have to go here, you have to say upload, and you need to upload it here. So in this way, those documents which need to be signed need to be get uploaded on this particular page. Now let me go back to the IMM form. Yes, so as you see here, this particular form, it has to be signed by the employer, which says here clearly PDF. So online form. And yes, this particular questionnaire also you need to be uploaded. The checklist, you have to upload that. So once you fill this up, you need to click on each and everything, whatever you did. Sorry. So in this particular tab, where you see here home care worker pilot program, This is the form which has to be filled. So once you fill this form, you have to print it, you have to sign it, and you have to keep it ready. And the tab which I showed you, you have to upload it there. The same way, if you're looking for from your employer, the individual employer, you have to get a 0267 form. If it is through a business, then you can able to just click it. Then you can able to get it 0268 form. Once again, this form also need to be filled by your employer, signed, very clear, transparent copy, keep it with you. And this one is the last one, use of representation. So if you are doing submission for someone like your brother, sister, or you are hiring a legal representative, then you need to get this IMM 5476 signed. If you are submitting through yourself, you can just ignore this, don't take this. Okay, so now in short, we have around 4 forms which need to be filled online, which you can fill PDF. On that day, you need to go and you need to enter all the information. And you have these 2 forms which has to be hand signed, printed, and ready so that you can just upload it. Now, so I'm going back to the screen now. Where is that? Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so coming back to the screen now. So this is the application portal. So now, like I told, summary, 4 forms, you filled everything, you saved it, it's ready to submit, perfect. Then 2 forms which need to be signed, you upload it here, click on this, drag it down or find it from your system, click on it, it will upload. It will also say ready to submit then here. Then you need to go down. When you go down, it will say about the supporting document. So it says for provincial nomination program because we have selected that tab, but on that day it will say supporting document for the home care pilot program. That would be the tab. Once you go down here, yes, one thing very important, which I follow, so I just want to let you know, whenever you are saving any kind of a document, so for example, you are saving your passport, for example now, you have to save it in a way that it's your last name, then dash, your first name, then dash, and then what is the document. So in this way, the CIC officer will have better understanding about, okay, what exact document and who this document belongs to, which is very, very, very important, as it is mentioned here, that you have to do this, because if you are not doing that, there are greater chance that CIC officer may see this and may not understand the document, and he will say that no, incomplete application. So please, whenever you are submitting a document, try to follow the same format. So even if you are doing a postgraduate, like I follow the same format for all the applications, irrespective of whether I'm doing like a paper-based application or express entry, I do the same thing. But in this particular application which we are talking about, I would strongly recommend that you should save the application document with last name, then first name, and then dash the document whatever you're submitting. So follow this. And one more important thing, the documents must be under the PDF, JPJ, JPEG, PNG, doc, or docx. I would say follow only PDF. You may feel difficulty if you are having some document in a document format. Better convert each and every document, like the documents which I'm going to explain you, into PDF. Make it very clear. Don't try to compress or take it using your phone camera. Try to avoid that. Another important thing, before 31st of March, try to make all the files of around 4 MB specifically. For example, you kept your entire passport. Now the passport is around 36 MB. You may not be able to upload that. So please, it has to be 4 MB PDF and properly labeled. Keep one thing in mind, that when you upload, it cannot take specific, it need to be having a specific characters. Like you cannot use asterisk, you cannot use some like symbol kind of thing. It has to be only name and the document. Try to avoid any other kind of symbols like asterisk, percentage, and those kind of thing. Just mention your name properly. That's one. So please follow this format for each and every document whichever you are uploading, so that your application would be smooth. Once you label your documents, then on that day, once you complete your online IMMs, once you upload your 2 IMMs which need to be hand signed and uploaded, go down and here you will see now you started to upload everything. So now rest of the things will be very smooth, because now at this point you already have every document ready. You just need to click on upload. You need to upload it, done. So if it's your single, then you just need to upload your passport. But if you are a family like you, your wife, and or your spouse and your kids, then you need to upload this like everyone's passport here itself. So you, your spouse, and your kids. So again, label it properly so that there will be no confusion for you also when you're uploading the documents. Very high chance that you will make a mistake, but please try to get everything ready a day before. Call your friend so that your friend can go over every document, and then you can able to submit it. Certificate of nomination, this is not the thing, this is for the PNP, that's why it's asking you here, but that day it will be some other document. We will go over the document checklist. PCC, so yes, so now let me tell you one most important thing. Many international students and the CAN family member are asking that, okay, what if I don't have a PCC? Let me tell you, the PCC need to be valid when you submit this document. So this is one of the most important piece of document. There are people who are saying that, okay, you can include the explanation letter, you can put that, okay, you already submitted. You can try, but with my experience, let me make it one thing clear. Without your PCC, you cannot able to do a submission, because once again, in express entry, yes, under the public policy, you do have a leniency where, okay, you can submit the PCC later on. But when I see this paper-based application or non-express entry-based application, I have seen the applications coming back if you don't submit a proper PCC. Even if you're not submitted a proper signature or you use some old version of the forms, there is greater chance the application will be returned. So please, PCC is one of the most compulsory document, and PCC you can need to get it from every country, whichever you lived after the age of 18. So for example, you came here when you're 18, you don't need to do PCC at all. So especially those high school individuals or high school international students who came here at the age of 18, then they don't need to do the PCC. But if you came here at the age of 19, 20, 21, then you need to get the PCC from each and every country wherever you lived for more than 6 months. So it can be continuous 6 months, or it can be part of 6 months, like 2 months, 2 months, 2 months when you went for a vacation in the last 3 years. You have to do the PCC. So again, PCC is most important piece of document. Once again, I leave the discussion on you that, okay, I don't have PCC, what should I do? My response would be, yes, you can try without putting that with an explanation, but with a personal experience, the application will be written incomplete. Going to the next one, photo. So it has to be a passport size photo. The requirement of photo is always there, but again, it's simple. Passport size photo, you have to scan, you have to upload. Birth certificate, this is required for the PNP. I don't think it is required for this particular program. Let's see that once again. Let's go back to our document checklist. So let's talk about the documents. So you see that, like, what all documents has to be uploaded. Same thing, you have to upload your passport. That's one of the most important piece of document. Like you see here, it says very clearly, it has to be PDF, like JPG, JPG, PNG. Try to get only and only PDF version just to be safe. Second, proof of language proficiency. So you can do CELP, PT, IELTS, whichever you like. Get a proper scanned copy of that. Please don't upload the one which you get it from a screenshot before getting the original TRF. Try to put your TRF, which has to be properly printed with all the information, your photo. This is only needed by the primary applicant, just to be sure that IELTS is only required by the primary applicant. You don't need to get it for the entire family. Proof of education. Once again, this is not a requirement, but yes, if you like the only requirement is that you need to have about 12th grade of education. So if you studied for like you came after 12th and you did 2-year diploma, then you need to upload 2 years certificates. So your course completion letter, your transcript, and your degree certificate. Merge all 3 of them, get it up to 4 MB, and you can upload that. Identify and the civil document. So now when you say identity and the civil document, it basically goes with any kind of birth certificate. So please don't forget your birth certificate. It has to be translated in English, and you need to upload that. And once again, this has to be done for not only for the primary applicant, but also for the dependent kids. Everyone need this. And then your marriage certificate. If you're married, if you are divorced, then your final divorce certificate. So these are the documents which you needed 100%. And then if you have a national identity document, if you have a joint bank account, if you are a family, then again, make a folder just to prove that you are married and you're living together, if you're common law, same kind of format you have to follow. Then, so this document is compulsory, education document is compulsory, IELTS is compulsory, and the travel document. Going towards the next one, proof of eligibility of work experience and training. So now, so you can have work experience or you can have a training. Both are two different things, or it can be both together, because some of the courses you are studying, but at the same time you are also doing the training. So that time you can able to upload the yeah, you can upload the supporting documents for that. If you are having a work experience, then you need to have an employer reference letter. You need to upload the T4, what you have received from the employer. You can also do your notice of assessment, which will show that, okay, total income is this much and you worked for this employer. If you can't provide the above, then you need to go with this one. So if you don't have a T4, for example, then you can go with the pay stubs. Or you can even go with a record of employment, because that will show that, okay, from this time to this time, these many hours, these are the title you worked. So that will show. But anyhow, the reference letter is must required. Like I told you, you need to have a 6 months of work experience or 6 months of training under the particular NOC codes. So that particular NOC code, you need to prove that you did had, and that need to be supported by a reference letter only, which will be having a duties. Please note that even if you are a nurse from back home, that experience is not counted. You need to have an experience under the 4 NOC code, which is mentioned in the eligibility. And then you can able to get an offer letter as a home care provider, and then you can submit it. But employment reference letter is one of the most compulsory document which can be supported by T4, notice of assessment, or your pay stubs. And yeah, so this is the one. Everyone is asking that, okay, what all things are needed in a reference letter. So this not only for this particular program, but if you're going through express entry, PNP, any immigration process, you need to have a proper experience letter, a reference letter, experience letter, or employment letter. It's all same thing. You need to have these things mentioned in that. So for every CAN family member, if you are looking or you're asking us that, okay, sir, can I get a reference letter and what is the format? I always tell to everyone, and I'm just repeating now myself, that there is no format. We just need these information mentioned in one piece of letter. So it can be different format depending upon the employer, but it need to have all those things which is highlighted here. And if it is a training, then you need to have a proper credentials of the program, and you need to provide the transcript which says that it was having a training for at least for 15 hours per week for 6 months. So that is something which you needed to hear if it is you are proving that, okay, you have a study or you have a training. We reached till here. Let me ask you one thing. Did you subscribe our channel till now? If not, you need to subscribe so that you will be part of our initiation of making immigration simple. Please guys, I'm not asking you a lot, but again, your subscription is something which boosts our online team to do more live session and informative session like this. So please, if you are still watching this, I would humbly request you, go to subscribe and do that, because that one click will boost my online team. Coming back to the discussion with the topic. So now the next is proof of job offer. Now, one of the most important piece of document in this particular application. So in this, you need to have a job offer. So once again, if you see this, the document checklist is very clear and very crystal clear about what all things need to be there, how to apply. And that is one of the things what I want to make you understand, and what I'm telling from last 2-3 weeks, that you really don't need anyone to do this application. Literally, you can do the application by yourself, because again, you are well educated. You really want to put this application by yourself. So you can able to look into what are the requirement, and it's very clearly mentioned here, the proof of job offer letter, what is needed. So it's very clearly say, okay, it need to have like a Canada holder CRA business number. If it is a private business or a private household or a business, then it need to have a remuneration. So it need to have, okay, same thing what we have mentioned here in the reference letter. But the only extra thing which need to be there is from when the job offer is giving to you. So you can just say 1st of April, 15th of April, 1st of May. Need to be valid job offer signed by employer and employee both. Reference letter is only signed by the employer because it says, okay, certified by the employer that, okay, you are still working. But job offer letter must be signed by both of you because he's giving to you, so he or she will sign, but you also need to sign it so that you can accept the job offer. So this is one of the most important criteria of the job offer. So we spoke about the job offer. Now going to the 14th one, if you have kids, then yes, you have to fill this. If you don't have a kids, you don't need it. I believe most of you don't have kids right now, so you can skip this part, so you don't need to tick here. But if you have kids, you have a dependent, you have adopted kids, then you have to fill this. Going to next one, again, very important thing, PCC. And as you see here, you are strongly recommend to submit with your application. If you can't tell the PCC, then send your application without them. However, we strongly recommend to take the step of PCC to avoid future delays in the application process. So once again, it's very clearly mentioning here that PCC is recommended and it is needed. If you don't have, like I said, you can put an explanation and you can leave everything on the CIC officer. But if you have, then your application is completed. So click on that. Going down now, proof of residency in Canada and authorization to work in Canada. So now this part is important. This is something where you have to upload your permit, the work permit. Please note that has to be very clear, legit, and you use your scanner. Please try not to use your phone camera or cam scanner. It doesn't see professional. Please value the application. Try to get properly scanned copy of your permit, which you can able to upload here as a proof of authorization to work in Canada. Along with that, you can also able to upload the proof of residency, which is mentioned here, which can be your driving license, utility bill, phone bill, lease agreement, anything and everything you can able to upload. Put that in one PDF, attach everything, make it less than 4 MB, label it properly. Then you go to the photo requirement. Once again, it has to be the minimum resolution as it is given here. How to get it, you can just see here. It's just basically a passport size photo which you need to take a scan copy. So it's simple, straightforward. Fee. Now, this is something which now, once again, a lot of international students ask me, sir, how to make a payment. So now let's see how to make a payment. So here, if you see fee payment, you can see here, it's highlighted, click on that. Once you click on that, you will go to the screen. I believe my screen is visible. Is visible? Done. So done. Yeah, so this is a screen. So you have to make a payment of, you go down here. I usually go and just pay directly, but yeah, this is a screen. So if you see here, the point number 5, the first link which I have shared with you, where it says about how to apply. So if you go to the page, you go on how to apply, this page will be there. The point number 5, here, don't go with ask for refund. Okay, this is not for you. First of all, you need to pay. If your application doesn't go through, then you have to come back here and you need to ask for a refund. But right now, what you have to do is before 31st, click on this link. It will take you to this page. Here you have to go to select the permanent residency, and then you have to say here no. Again, it's feeder, so it's just fast for me. You just need to follow this. Otherwise, on that day, you will be stuck on this by saying yes to this. Then it will not show you the next screen. So just go to say no, press here. Then you can go to this page. Now you see here, this is the one which you needed. So now you need to click, you are applying for the home care worker pilot program that is opened in 2025. Click on that. There you go with a payment page where now you are gonna be spending money. Not good, but yeah, you have to pay the fee. So yes, let's pay that fee. So now you have to select there how many applicants you have. So now when you say how many applicants, your spouse are the full application. So you have to select here 2. If you're single, then you select 1. Okay. Then again, with every application as of now, CIC is asking to do the biometric. So even if you submitted TRV application, you did biometric, again on next applications, again asking you to pay the biometric. So once again, don't skip or don't avoid paying this $85, because if you avoid this, your application can be delayed significantly. So I would strongly recommend If you are single applicant who's applying, then you need to pay for your application as well as your biometric all together. And then you say submit. So it will show you the summary that, okay, 1525 has to be paid, plus you have to pay the $85, so totally $1610. Once you do this, then log in for the payment, then it will show you this page. Now this page, I already have an account, so it will show you like this. But if you are new, you never paid like this, then you need to go and register yourself. Same thing, how I told you initially that you have to go put your email ID, name, then there will be a verification. So that same kind of format you have to follow. You have to create your account in the CIC to pay the fees. Once you do that, come back to this, then you log in. Next page, you just make a payment using your credit card. Due to security reason, I'm not going there. Okay, so this is the page. So once you make the payment, you can download the receipt. Also, you will receive an email of your receipt. So from anywhere, either you can download after the payment or you can download it from the email. Once you download, once again, save the receipt with saying your last name, first name, dash CIC fee. Done. Once you make that payment, then where I was. Okay, so now share this tab. Now coming back to again the original, the portal where we discussed about it. So you upload these documents which is given here, but if you have extra documents, so for example, now you need to upload your proficiency of language, proof of language proficiency, then you need to upload it here. Same thing, if you wanted to upload national ID card, then you need to upload it here. Same way, if you have to upload your notice of assessment, you need to create a tab. So the number of tab, it totally depends upon you. If you're showing the proof of fund, then you can click here, then you can upload it here. Then the same thing, the children's information. So here you see one more thing, the document checklist. Very important. You need to upload the document checklist. So either you can upload it here or it can also somewhere here. Yeah. So where it says the print, so there you need to upload the document checklist. So here you can upload. If you don't see this tab on that day, then you can go down and you can create a new tab here for the document checklist. Once you do all the document uploaded as per the document checklist, now we are going to the most important part where you have to upload the fee payment receipt. So once again, here it says where to pay the fees. So if you are not paid the fees till 31st, then you have to pay the fees using the same way which I told you, but you have to click on this and it will go. Make sure you pay and keep the receipt, because on that day, for example, you filled entire application now, okay? But when you click on this, now that site is crashed, okay? Trust me, you cannot forgive yourself. So please, if you want to apply for this, make a payment, keep the receipt ready, don't wait for it, because again, if you cannot able to submit your application, you can take a refund. It's CIC. CIC will definitely pay you the money back. But if you are waiting for that day, then again you can use the link here and then you can go from here, which personally I'm not in favor of. If you are submitting, I would say you should be having the receipt ready by 30th night. Then you upload that. Once you do that, then you need to go on a last part where you have to give a declaration. So once you complete entire, so you filled online form, you have uploaded the PDF version, you have submitted all the documents, you have uploaded the fee receipt, then you have to come down and you need to say start, where you have to give a declaration that yes, the CIC can contact me and I did everything, like again my employer did all the requirement, I'm giving all the information properly, and you have to just type it here, your full name, primary applicant's full name. You don't need to give your dependent's name, primary applicant's full name, and you need to say complete and return. When you do this, automatically here it will say a blue one which say submit your application, which would be a very good relief for you that yes, you are now able to submit your application, and as soon as you click on this, you will be getting a notification in your email that your application submitted. Kindly save that email. There are chances that sometimes the website get crashed and you cannot able to submit. Once again, you need to be having that email there which need to say your application is successfully submitted. Once you do that, then you can go for your lunch, you can go for your having a biryani, you can go and do whatever. But till that point, until you don't see this blue tick and the email confirmation, don't leave the screen in any case. Small tip, if possible on that day, if you are doing the application by yourself, have your best friend with you who is a little bit logical and try to sit together and do this application together so that if you miss something, at least he or she can able to point out that, okay, you're missing something and you can go through. And especially if someone did PR by themselves, you can also give them a treat, bring them, sit with you, fill the application, and later on you can go for an outing. So that would be my recommendation. So let's go now, guys. Coming to this camera now.
All right, perfect. I hope this whole session was informative for you. I know that was a long journey. I felt like I finished keeping. I felt like I already kept the file. I'm done with it. That was a long process, but that was informative. Thank you, Vishnu. Honestly, that was great because those tips and tricks, like I was just looking at. If I was just a common man just applying for this particular application, I would have missed a lot of those tips where you mentioned about like not mention like mentioning none or like not applicable. Those are like small things that no one tells you about how to name your form or like how to format your documents or how to name the documents so that you don't get a rejection. These are things, guys, like you need to watch out for. That's why we specifically wanted to come live today, even though it's late. But thank you, Vishnu.
No,
Thank
it's
you. That's
again,
amazing.
like I said,
That's
I
amazing.
came like you guys. I also came to Canada with a lot of ambitions. Like I came here as a nurse. I struggled a lot. But like I said, when people, like especially can family member, when you guys are supporting and you guys wanted to bring a change to immigration, I'm just doing my small part by sharing the information because I really want every can family member who is watching this must get into this particular program. If you don't have any other option, definitely this is a wonderful program for you.
All right, let's go one by one. So we have a question from Darshan. He has asked how to pay fees from and which link and how much for an applicant as and a spouse. We have put the link for which we'll just put right now again for you, Darshan. You can just go to the link. You can find the fees. You just have to add your spouse into it, and it shows you how much is the correct amount. And the second question is, if I apply for PCC, would that be okay? Or will I need that right away?
So, like I just mentioned, you guys, it's recommended because it's a paper-based application. Sorry. Because it's a paper-based application, I would strongly recommend to holding your PCC at the time of submission. Like it is also mentioned in the document checklist. But if you don't have, you can try putting an explanation letter. But unfortunately, no one can tell you the right answer, whether it will be accepted or not. We have to wait and watch.
And what about the forms? Dot has a has a question say asking that how can I download these forms like online forms before the portal opens up?
I didn't get it. Sorry.
Like if how can someone download these forms, online forms, before even the portal opens up?
Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so for example, share this tab. Okay, now, so you go to the document checklist, okay, and you wanted now IMM 008. Just say, go to the Google. Ready? Good. Yeah. So you can just Google about IMM 008. Click on that, and there you find the document which has to be filled. So you can download from here, and then you can able to label it and you can fill it up. Same thing. If you wanted to look into IMM 555662, okay, Google it. There is a supplementary information of your travel. Again, click on it. You can download it. So here is the how to fill the online form. Again, it will tell you exactly how to fill that form also when you Google that particular name of it. So you just need to copy paste the IMM form, put that in Google. The first link which you see, click on that and it will exactly show you how to download and how to fill the form. It's very straightforward. And here, if you see, this is how the form will come, and then you need to download. One most important thing, if you are going to be filling the form, you definitely need to have an Adobe Reader. IMM forms will not be opened without Adobe Reader. So if you are not having Adobe Reader, you need to find it, you need to pay for that, or you need to find a crack version. Again, it's up to you, but you need to have an Adobe Reader. Without that, you cannot able to access the application or fill the form. It's very important. But once again, answer to your question, Google, you will find all the forms there even before the portal is going to be open.
Okay, that's good. Jitin Haridas has a question like, does 44101 PSW
Mhm.
at group home, can he apply for this particular program?
So now, very important thing about sorry, just a minute. Yeah. So very important thing about the knock code is, CIC mentioned that institutions like nursing home cannot able to be get qualified. The reason for that is, if you're looking into nursing home, there is no direct 44101 knock code. So 44101 knock code is basically a person who need care, long-term care, home care, or like a one-on-one care is more about this particular stream is about. So if you are through an agency or if you are through a institution which provide one-on-one care, then you are getting qualified. Unfortunately, the group home, if it is taking care of a de-addiction and those kind of group people, you are not getting qualified. So you need to look the knock code and you need to see whether you are performing those duties, and it has to be one-on-one care.
Okay, Melvin has a question. Can I apply for this program if I'm still in an applied status of my work permit?
You can. You already been on a valid maintained status, so yes, you are eligible.
Okay, Santosh Gimre has a question. My employer refused to add knock code 44101 in my employment letter. They just wrote my title as a residential support worker. Will that be an issue?
So Santosh, very important thing about the knock code is your duties has to be matched. The letter do not need to have a knock code. I tell the same thing to every CAN family member when they come for the consultation also, that your employer is not a qualified person to identify the knock code. He just need or she just need to mention the duties, and it is a responsibility of you or your legal representative to identify the knock code based upon the duties.
That's good. Okay, we have another question from Migo who asks, can I apply under a different knock 44101 for a new program if I've already applied under knock 33102 for OINP? Will this affect my PR or lead to a misrepresentation?
So Migo, you are looking into misrepresentation. To be honest, if you're putting that application and CIC notice that you have submitted two different applications with two different knock code, CIC will say that either you are lying on the previous application or you're lying on this application. And brother, why you even wanted to do this? You already submitted a PNP application. Give the space to someone who don't even have any other option. So please try not to block each and everything and get misrepresentation or refusal on application. Give the spot to someone who really need of it. Questions there.
Right, sir, if I apply for PCC tomorrow, will that be good?
It is good, but once again, as per the document checklist, it is recommended to have the PCC approved. Definitely, if you apply tomorrow, you may not be able to see the PCC now, but you can include the explanation letter and hopefully it will get approved.
All right, Jitin Haridas has a question. 44101 PSW at group home can they apply for this? Do we add PCC after completing, after applying since it's on process?
You can try. Same question that you can submit with an explanation. Decision is on CIC officer.
Sports Infotainment has a question. It says, sir, two questions. Question number one, from the employer's perspective, in addition to the employer job offer form and IMM 0267 or IMM 0268, is it also necessary to submit proof of the employer's financials?
That CIC will ask you directly. If it is a small employer, like a family business, then I would recommend include that. But if it is a big employer agency, CIC will do the background check, and if needed, they will ask.
And he has another question as well. From the perspective of the spouse and dependents, apart from IMM 5406, is there a requirement to submit any proof of education, language proficiency, or employment?
From the spouse?
Yeah.
No, it's not needed. For spouse, nothing is required. It's just the passport, the basic document which I said, passport, photo, birth certificate, then identity proof, marriage certificate. Those are the most important piece of document for spouse. The rest all document comes to you.
For follow-up question, I just saw Georgina who just commented right now, is if I'm applying a loan, do I still need to add my husband and kids' documents?
If you're applying for a loan?
If she's applying a loan, like in the sense if she's doing unaccompanied or something, does she have to submit all her husband's and kids' documents
Oh
as
yes,
well?
oh yes. So again, even though you are going as a single applicant or unaccompanied spouse PR, which we usually say, you still need to disclose your partner's information, kids' information. You need to submit their passport because still, though you need to have their information there to be disclosed.
All right. For my travel history part, even if it's just for 6 days, Athara has a question. Should we mention that in this section, last 10 years from India to Dubai before coming to Canada?
Yes, definitely. So you need to mention each and every day you have traveled to Dubai. If you are a citizen of India, you are residing in Canada, then you need to mention each and every day, in and out from Dubai, very clearly.
All right, Jalpa has a question. Hello, sir. I'm working as a full-time HSW since February 2024 in Canada. How the job offer should look like? Does my employer have to pay compliance fee if I have a valid open work permit?
So right now it's not about the work permit, it's only about the application of PR. Your employer don't have to pay anything, just he has to fill the form. And again, get an updated offer letter saying that from 1st of April or 1st of May you are rejoining or you are joining there, then still it need to have a recent signature from your employer which give a surety that you are holding a valid job offer letter.
That's amazing. Joel has a question. I'm working in a long-term care home. My employer is ready to support with OINP and not this because it's a long-term. Please help if I'm eligible in this.
Again, I need to see the documents to even comment on that because like I said, the 44101 knock code in long-term care, I don't know whether it is possible or not, but again, this particular program is about a one-on-one care and long-term care. You're not taking care of one individual. There are certain long-term care where you just go and work with a particular unit or a particular clients, but it depends. I need to see the documents to comment better.
Okay, we have a question from Kushleen who has asked, can you please clarify if I can still receive points from a brother's PR residence status when applying for this PR under the home caregiver program?
Hello Kushleen, there is no points for the PR of your siblings. That's only for the express entry.
Okay. Question, can you please let me know if I am allowed to work another job while applying under this caregiver program, or is it required to have full-time experience exclusively in this role?
It need to be exclusively in this particular knock code with this particular employer. Anytime the CIC will ask you, you have to show and disclose all the pay stubs, T4 that you are still working with this employer. If you're on open work permit, along with this particular job, you can also work with another employer. But this employer who is supporting for you this particular program is your commitment. So you need to work with them until the date you receive a PR card in your hand.
All right, we have a question from Sunny who has how long it might take to get a file number or AOR?
Somewhere from 2 to 3 months is very common with a paper-based application.
Okay, Amit has a question. What document should I ask from my employer?
You need to ask a proper reference letter, job offer letter, get filled that employer supportive form. Those are the important piece of document. Just go to the checklist, the 2 forms which need to be signed. Just now, like I explained, download that. It need employer information, which one he need to sign.
All right. What if I have only this one job offer which I received upon my hiring? Is it going to be fine or not?
Try to get an updated offer letter because once again, whenever we are putting in any application, as per the CIC, the job offer is something which need to be signed within 6 months. Follow the same script. So get a new offer letter from your employer stating that, or same offer letter, but recent signature is also fine.
All right. And one last question is, if my own sister is ready to provide letter, then can I be eligible for this program?
Yes, you will be eligible if she fulfill all the requirement. Like I put a link for the income requirement of the family. You can go through that. If she fulfill, you are eligible with all the eligibility criteria, then yes, you are.
And one last question from Sports Infotainment is last question. Is online form 5562 travel history mandatory to be filled as we are going to doing the application inside Canada? When you were sharing the screen, all the forms have required except 5562.
Yeah, so 5562 is a travel document. When you see the online, it still say that you have to do it. It's a country specific for almost like if we are doing for a PNP application, PR sponsorship, it depends upon the country whether we have to fill it or not. But it's very simple, straightforward application to be filled. I would say if it is online, fill that up with saying that I did not travel. That would be the easiest thing. But yes, Right now, if you're looking into 5662, yes, it is needed.
All right. Now that's everything. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope this whole session was informative for you, and thank you, Vishnu, again. I mean, I don't think I wish the people. I know the people must be like thanking you like all over, like over and over for the information and everything. So, guys, if you want to just say thank you, just drop in either you can say thank you, Vishnu, or just drop in thumbs up. So we are aware that this whole session was informative and it was worth waiting all this long for the whole for the whole live for the whole session. So make sure you join us if you want to be a part of the family. Make sure you subscribe and press the bell icon so you're aware about whenever we come live like this, because some of them are like planned and we prepare for some of them are like completely unplanned. We like let's go live on the spot. So
Did you told them about the coming Saturday 12?
this Saturday 12.
Yeah.
Do
So
we
guys,
Saturday
on
12?
Saturday
Sure.
12 noon, we are coming with breaking the rumors. On the day, we will be having some funny videos where we will be disclosing and we will be reacting to it. It's related to immigration, but with that, we are aiming to educate you in a funful way. So don't miss that. Those kind of events, those kind of sessions are also necessary to have a little bit fun with the immigration. So if you are still not subscribed our channel, do subscribe. That support our team who is gonna be making this kind of events successfully happen. If needed, we'll maybe doing one more session on the home care pilot program. But right now, I believe we have covered the eligibility requirement, how to apply almost all the topics. But still, if you feel that if we miss some questions or you have certain question, once we upload this video, you can able to comment below the video so that we can able to answer you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, and have a good night, guys. And after tomorrow is a great weekend. Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Bye.